Alberici. I'm the head men's lacrosse coach at Army West Point, and I've been there for the past 20 years. And I've been asked at a lot of different places to talk to young men just like you, okay, about different things in life. And I always come back to one thing. I only talk about one thing to young men. I talk about toughness, right? Toughness. Being at Army West Point, I get the opportunity to coach some incredibly tough young men. And at the school itself, there's incredibly tough men and women there. Let me explain to you, though, how we define toughness. What we talk about when we talk about toughness. Toughness, it has nothing to do with how physically strong you are. It has nothing to do about how much weight you can lift or who you can beat up. That's not toughness. That's nothing to do with the toughness I'm talking about and our team talks about. What we talk about when we talk about toughness, men, is giving 100% of the time. 100% of the time. See, I don't believe in giving 110%. It's impossible. You can only give what you have. But a tough thing is to give that all of the time, in every situation. So it's important to be a tough guy on the lacrosse field. What does that mean? 100% of the time. That's not doing it just for the scrimmage or just when the coach is watching. You're giving your greatest effort for line drills. You're giving your greatest effort whatever the coach is asking for you. That's toughness. That's toughness. It's an important thing. And it's important to be tough on the football field. It's important to be tough on the soccer pitch. Okay? The basketball courts, the ice rink. Toughness in sports is so important because that is so much you're going to learn about yourself. Be a tough guy on the lacrosse field. What does that mean? You can't leave your sticks right after practice and not pick them up again till the next practice. That's not tough. Tough is when you've got your video game right in front of you, you put it down, you go pick up a stick, you call your buddy, you go to the park and you have a catch, or you get shots. That's toughness. When you get a little bit older, putting the time in the weight room, that's toughness. Because what you're trying to do is be as great as you can in sports. And that's a different level for everybody. But be a tough guy on your lacrosse program. 100% of the time. No matter who's watching. That's important. What's of greater importance, eyes right here, men, of greater importance is be a tough guy in the classroom. Well, coach, how am I going to be a tough guy in the classroom? 100% of the time. Working your butt off in your least favorite subject and your favorite subject. For your favorite teacher or your least favorite teacher. It doesn't matter. Tough guys will give 100%. So that means if you're capable of a 90, don't settle for an 87. Don't use an excuse that your buddy only got an 81 on it, so your 87 is good enough. That's not tough. Tough guys know when they know the information down cold, they'll still spend time studying. So they don't settle for a 95, they want to get the 100. That's what tough guys do. And if you're capable of an 80, don't settle for a 74. Because it's just good enough. That's not tough. Be a tough guy in the classroom, and what you're going to do is you're going to present yourself with more opportunities as you get older. So we have 7th and 8th graders in here. It's not too late to be tough. We got 4th and 5th graders in here. Be tough. Be tough now. Develop those habits. Come home. Do your homework first. That's tough. Put the video games away. Doesn't mean that you can't play them, but play them after you've done the work, because that's the tougher thing to do. And you're going to present yourself opportunities. You know what the greatest joke in all of education is? The greatest one of all time is this. And guys, some guys say it to their parents. The teacher doesn't like me. The teacher doesn't like me. That's why. Well, I've been around for a long time now, and I know a lot of teachers. I've never met a teacher who didn't like a person who sat in front of the class, participated in class, turned their homework in on time, was a good citizen in the classroom. When it was time to be quiet, they were quiet. When it was time to help and assist others, they assisted others. That's tough. And I've never met a teacher who didn't like somebody like that. So if you feel like your teacher doesn't care for you, or you've got a problem, think about how you're acting. Are you the guy in the back of the room jerking around with your buddy when the teacher's trying to present a lesson? Be a tough guy. Be that person. Right? Be that person in your class. Set the example. Opportunities will come to you there. So now we talked about being a tough guy in sports. That's important. Above that, a tough guy in the classroom. What I'm going to say to you now is of the most importance. So let me have everybody's eyes here, guys. Because I can promise you this. Eyes. So I can promise you this. There isn't a thing this weekend that's more important than what I'm going to say right now. Be a tough guy in life. Be a tough guy in life. You know what being a tough guy in life is? That's including people. Including people. That's being tough. Someone that doesn't look like you, doesn't talk like you, doesn't have as much money as you. You know what's not tough? To exclude them. The kid that's got to sit at a lunch table all by himself and your buddies are over there making fun of him, that's not tough. A tough guy is inclusive. He'll bring people in. That's what tough guys do. A tough guy sees somebody who's bullying another person and he grabs him by the shirt and says, knock it off. You know what a bully is? A coward. Somebody who doesn't feel good enough about themselves that they got to pick on other people. Nothing tough about that. Cowards. Absolute coward. But a tough guy will step in and say, that's not happening. Knock it off. The toughest of the tough guys takes the guy who's getting picked on and says, hey, you're with me. Come have lunch with me. I'll walk to the next class with you. That's what tough guys do. Tough guys are inclusive because it's so easy to exclude people based on a whole bunch of things that don't matter. You know, you being inclusive, you're bringing people in. You think you're only benefiting that kid? You're also benefiting. Because now you have somebody who has maybe a little different way of thinking, has a little different background, and you get a chance to learn from that kid. That's being tough. Be tough, be inclusive. Another way, fellas, that you got to be tough, and it's all coming, and I bet you a bunch of you guys have already experienced it. It's a really unfortunate situation. There's a lot of young men that don't feel good about who they are. So what do? They're turning to different stuff. It's vaping, right? It's drugs. It's drinking. A tough guy can walk away from that stuff, even if it isn't the cool thing to do, knowing it's not taking you where you want to go. A tough guy steps out of that situation, and it doesn't matter if your coach is going to know, your teacher's going to know, mom and dad are going to know. You just know it's not right. And you're not afraid to act when something's not right. You step away. The toughest of the tough guys, they grab their buddy and say, you're with me too. you're not getting involved in that either. That's what tough guys do. So now you start making those decisions to be a tough guy out here on the field. And you're a tough guy in the classroom. And then you're a tough guy in life. You're raising your game, man. You're getting better. You're getting better. And you know what else happens, fellas? People want to be around you. Everybody wants to be associated with tough guys. Everybody wants to be associated with people who are going to make the right decision when it counts most. Be a tough guy. So now what you're doing is not only elevating yourself, you're elevating everybody else around you. Now it's your buddies. And they become tough guys. And now your buddies start getting their buddies. And now your classroom is a bunch of tough people, men and women. And then it spreads out into the school, but it can start with you. Elevating yourself and bringing others around with you. That's what tough guys do. Be a tough guy on the fields, be a tough guy in the classroom, and most of all, be a tough guy in life. You do those things, guys, opportunities are abound. Things are always there. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you, fellas, is this. Nobody's tough all the time. Nobody. I'm not. My players aren't. The toughest of the tough people I know aren't always tough all the time. You know what they do? They talk to people. They talk to their buddy, and maybe their buddy can be a little tougher for them at that moment. And there's sometimes, fellas, things happen in your life, and they start to stack up. And you start to feel a little depressed. Right? You got a little anxiety. Tough guys, what they'll do is they'll reach out for help. They'll get help. Whether it's through their mom or their dad, right? A friend, a teacher. And tough guys will express how they feel. Tough guys will get that help. Because they know they're not feeling that tough at that moment. And they can get the help. And then they can be tough again. And they can help others be tough. Tough guys, when they see somebody who's struggling, not only is looking to help them, and maybe you're not equipped to help them, tough guys will let adults know. Let adults know before it gets too late. Right? Before things spiral into something that shouldn't. So be a tough guy. Be that person when, if it's not all working for you, that you're not afraid to reach out and tell somebody. All right? So there's my challenge to you men right here, is to be a tough person. Okay? Be a tough person, fields, be a tough person in the classroom, be a tough person in life. And in those moments when you're not, reach out, get that help. I want to thank all of you guys for your attention. I know we got a lot of distractions with food and all right? I appreciate you all being here. I'm telling you guys, I mean, I've been doing it for a long time. You guys are associated with one of the best organizations in our sport. One of the very best. What they're doing for you guys here, right? How they run everything in a first-class manner. You're very fortunate, okay? You're very fortunate. But I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the effort that you're giving today, all right? That you're giving today. And I'm gonna thank you and show some appreciation for the toughness you're gonna show on Monday when you go to class. When you say hello to that one kid that you didn't know before. When you bring somebody else in, right? When you go home and you're in the car ride home tonight, you're doing your homework, right? Instead of saving it for tomorrow morning, right? You're doing your homework Monday night that's due on Thursday. It's a tougher thing to do. I'm gonna thank you for doing that right now, all right? Do those things, fellas, and big things are ahead for you, all right? Appreciate your attentions, moms and dads. Thank you for sending your boys here, and look forward to seeing you all down the road, all right?